All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin, and welcome to yet another live stream bringing you the latest in Chelsea transfer news, Chelsea match previews also upon us. It's a mad day. This is going to be an absolute match, huge match. Some of the rivals ahead of us, they've dropped points this weekend, so it's a perfect opportunity for us to get a victory and get ahead of the game a little bit. Look, the madness that has taken place, I do expect it to settle the team down a little bit at the end of this transfer window. I knew the transfer window was going to be a bit unsettling. You could tell, with our form, deteriorating, and certain players obviously not being part of the football club. You could tell that there could potentially be a lot of problems in this month, and there was. And Maresca himself has said it in the press conference that he can't wait for the window to end. I can only imagine, all of these agents calling him up or calling the club up directly. It's chaos. There's a lot of players that he probably couldn't use because they might be leaving the football club, this, that, the other already. We had one out, Renato Vega. He's already played his first game for Juventus. I haven't seen the match, but I've seen some clips of him playing for Juventus. I mean, it didn't look anything special, but nonetheless, he played there. We've got a few more other players that are on the way out. So obviously, look, this was always going to be a bit of a topsy-turvy month. But now, tonight, at the end of tonight, it's all coming to an end. And hopefully the results can change for us, because look, man, it's not nice, and I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same way. It's not nice having your football club dwindle around in 5th and 6th and 7th and whatever the case is for the past 2 years. You want to see your football club progress. You want to see your club get back into normality, but I've got massive doubts. The way we are moving in the transfer windows, buying a whole heap of players, letting go of a whole heap of players, and we're not even buying at times substantial players. We're buying, and sometimes we're not even buying for the need of the squad. We're just buying for the sake of buying. We're not really even addressing the squad needs. And on top of that, we're buying a lot of kids along the way, which then we end up selling as well. Some of the kids might stay, some of the kids might leave. I just feel like this model is not sustainable, and it cannot bring you any success. And if you mean by success just regularly making into top 4 and getting into Champions League football but not really winning anything, for me, that's not really success. So we're going to talk about all of these things, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to each and every one of you guys. Already 100 plus in the building, which is great to see. Smash up the like button. Number one, smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe as well. Big day, ladies and gentlemen. Big day. Whole heap of movement that's going to happen. There's a game, important game that's going to happen. And then obviously, Deadline day for the transfer window. Ashraf, big up to you. My man Felix is in Milan chilling me. Yeah, look, he wants to go. Look, I don't even blame him. I don't blame him. I don't blame Maresca. The only little blame that he can have, Maresca, is the fact that I wish he utilized him a little bit more. But, he's not his type of player. As simple as that. He's just not his type of player. You can't force a manager to do things. I'm pretty sure we never wanted Felix in the first place anyway. It just happened because Omar Dion broke that transfer broke down. And we did a favor. We did a favor for Atletico Madrid. We did a favor for George Mendes. So, yeah, look, he needs to go. There's no way João Felix's loan can be compromised. I know it's going to have an impact on Anselmino. I'd rather Anselmino just stay with us. I know the loan to Marseille would have been sensational, but there's only one more spot left, and I'd rather it be João Felix that leaves, because at the moment it seems to be a loan move. It cannot be a permanent move. The Blues PYS, the secret scout. Yep, let's go straight to that. Chelsea have currently moved away from Nico O'Reilly and are turning their attention to other midfielders after City said they would want a huge offer to even entertain selling. So I saw Ashraf saying that. Yeah, perhaps they're a bit, dazed. Perhaps they're a little bit worried that the Cole Palmer situation is going to happen to them again, and maybe it will. Maybe it will. The bottom line is, I don't get why we're going for more midfielders. I'm not sure. I mean, there is a need for midfielders, but we have a couple of midfielders in our books already, so I'm not really sure why we're going for more midfielders, and that too kids. So this was the news that was floating around, and it looks like we're so adamant. We do want midfielders, and we want more kids. We're linked with another player from France as well. I believe he's a midfielder. But I'm glad that this hasn't happened. But I'm sure they're going to just go and find another youngster anyway. So I'm glad this didn't happen, but they're going to go and find the next 17, 18, 19-year-old. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is who we are. This is who we are. And we just need to, I suppose, accept it. It does hurt. It 100% hurts, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? I know there's apparently some words about a protest that's lined up for today before match day. Now, I don't know how much of that is real, but a lot of people have been saying that. That Minerals and Eunice, their streams, they talked about this and they're lining up a protest. So look, hopefully there is one. Hopefully it's a large enough protest that can actually send out a bit of a message and have an impact. But we shall see. We shall see. So if you guys are match-going fans, do check out the socials. Do check out Minerals and his Twitter page. I think there might be details over there as to when the protest is going to be and where it's going to be. So if you are going to the game, do check that out. Christopher Miz, have you ever watched Nico Riley play to be talking down? Oh, my God. Brother, it's been 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes, Christopher James. I honestly, sincerely, I want to put my two hands together and just ask you, forgive me. Forgive me, bro. Just like, not today. Here to talk serious conversations. Just forgive me, brother. Don't be commenting like this. It makes you look like an idiot. I'm sorry. Look at what you're saying. He may be a good midfielder. He may be. But is this what we need right now? You're saying, how can you talk down on this transfer? We have two midfielders, you know. We have midfielders. And it's more kids. We've got kids. For F's sake, man. Yeah, you're right. Just leave it, man. Just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. Okay. We'll move on swiftly. All right. Someone said Matt Law. I want to share this with you guys. It's quite interesting. We'll talk about everything today. We'll go through the transfer news first, and then we'll talk about the match in itself. Graham Potter derby. Potter returns back to Chelsea Football Club. It's going to be an interesting affair. That's for sure. Matt Law said Chelsea are looking for first team midfield. First team midfielder. Mad. Anyway, check this out from Matt Law. Probably 90% of Chelsea talks on here revolves around transfers, and yet this weekend's results have given them a great opportunity to put down a marker for top 4 place tomorrow night. Focus needs to be on football. Now, I don't know who that message is towards, Matt Law. 90% of what is being talked on social media is briefs that are coming from the journalists. The fan base is not creating these briefs. The journalists like yourself, Matt Law, are putting out all of these briefs and consistently making us want to talk about transfers. We want to talk about the match. You guys are the ones that are producing all of these news. It's not the fans that are doing this. Us fans didn't even ask for all of this business anyway. Great business. We never asked for it. We wanted some legitimate positions that are important right now. We wanted a player that can potentially compete with Nicholas Jackson and maybe even dislodge him. Right? We wanted a striker like that. We even said, don't worry about buying a midfielder. We need midfield cover, but we've got a couple of midfielders. We've got Leslie Ogochukwu. We've got Andre Santos. Bring one of them back. They're our players. You got Chalobah back in defense, no problems. No problems. Even though we need better, but we can target that for summer. So we didn't even ask for all of this stuff. It's not the fans' fault that Renato Viga wants to go and play for Juventus. It's not our fault that Ben Chilwell, CHUKWUEMEKA, Desasi, João Félix, all of these players want to leave because, you know, the club can't seem to build a proper squad. It's not our fault. The fans are not in fault here. So I'm not really sure what Matt Law's on about. Matt Law talking the big talk. You guys are the journalists that are doing all of this stuff. So I just wanted to quickly address that because these journalists, like, I don't know what they must be like in an airy fairy land. Like they're not really connected to the real world. Like for him to comment like that, that's so stupid. Just shows that he's not really connected to the real world. All right. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea set to make decision on loan spot today as João Felix's future is still open as of now. If Chelsea agreed deal for João's loan exit with several clubs keen, Anselmino's loan move to Olympique Marseille could collapse. So obviously this is because we've got too many players out on loan, international loan, not domestic loans. You have to remember domestic loans, I think you can have them, I think as many as you want. But international loans, there's only 7 spots. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the live chat. So those spots are already been taken. So if João Felix goes, then Anselmino will have to find a solution within the domestic frame. So whether it's in the Premier League, whether it's in Championship, whatever the case is. Milan are going to work today to bring João Felix. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this needs to happen. He don't want to be here. It's best we get rid of him, even if it's on loan. And if AC Milan can cover parts of his salary, why not? Why not? And yeah, as Ashraf said, Anselmino is staying. I'm okay with that. Look, he can learn in-house, learn maybe get the odd minutes here and there in the FA Cup and Conference Leagues Conference League matches. So we'll see what happens. Victor is back again, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of Chelsea fans were saying Jackson was the second best striker in the league not long ago. Now we are calling for a striker to dislodge him. There is too much. No, okay. All right. So Victor, I love how Victor is selective in his picking of the words. I said, and I've always maintained this, Nicholas Jackson has always had good skill set. Very, very good skill set. He's not a complete player, of course not. He's young, and there's a lot of things up front as a striker that he lacks. But there's a lot of things that there is to like about Nicholas Jackson, right? I've also said this season he has improved. But what I've finally said that we need a striker to come and compete with him and perhaps even dislodge him. You need to hear what I said. Need a striker to come and compete with him and perhaps go and dislodge him. Now, that's not a bad thing, Victor. Having a striker that can compete and maybe take your spot as well, that's only a good thing. That means competition is intense. But you've just picked up one key word from what I said and you've ran with it. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it? Do you do that in normal life as well? Like you just hear one little word from someone and then you run with it. You make a big story out of it. Do you do that at your workplace? Do you do that with your family? Why are you doing that here? Why are you doing that here? And it's only good if we have good competition. It's only good for everyone. One of the reasons why we are where we are, where we can't compete against the best, because the best have a lot of good players that are competing with each other. Top quality players. Us, we've got some good players, quite a lot of mediocre players, and they're all competing with more mediocre players in the B team. So it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But bringing another striker will make him worried and not confident of his spot. For F's sake, now I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this Victor guy. Look at his first line. Look at this guy's. This guy wants me to believe. This guy wants me to believe in the new owners and the sporting directors. Look at his first line. This guy don't even believe in our team himself. Bringing another striker will make him worried and not confident of his spot. Will make him worried. And this guy is pro the owners, pro the directors. Look at this guy's first line. Don't even worry about the second line. I've had enough. I've had enough of this guy, man. I'm not taking this guy's No, it's done. It's done. Victor's done. I've just realized he's not all switched on. Don't mind him, Miz. It's a crime to have competition. If a striker can dislodge him, then it means he's better than him. Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. Arash, big up to you, my man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Watching Chelsea since 1999. These owners ruined it. And it looks like they will not fix the situation either anytime soon or ever. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, Borussia Dortmund agree loan fee for CHUKWUEMEKA from Chelsea. Here we go. Loan move and buy option clause include a value higher than 40 million release clause, salary covered until June, and loan fees also included. Medical on Monday. I mean, look, do you know what? This actually ended up being a nice move. I can't wait to watch Dortmund. Hopefully, we can do some Dortmund watch-alongs and watch CHUKWUEMEKA. Hopefully, he plays for them. Look, I think overall, you know how we laugh about great business. I think this ended up being a pretty good business. Ultimately, Chelsea were able to put a release clause more than 40 million. This is what they value the player. So, and it's a buy option. It's not an obligation. So if Dortmund really want the player, they can get him for 40 million, which is what we want. If not, he comes back to us anyway, and hopefully he has a good loan spell, and we can maybe utilize him. If not, we can sell him. I hope we are able to utilize him. And then on top of that, salary covered until June. So I mean, what's there not to like? A lot going for us. Salary covered as well, which is fantastic news in this situation. So this one, ladies and gentlemen, actually worked out to be okay. And as I said, can't wait to watch Dortmund play. So this is actually a pretty good move. Tottenham Hotspurs have ended their interest in Chelsea centre-back Desasi. Wow, I like it. That's great. Hopefully now we can send him to Aston Villa. I mean, I wouldn't have cared, to be honest, whether he goes to Tottenham, whether he goes to Aston Villa. Desasi is another one that needs to go. At a nice trip to Barcelona, watch Real Madrid get packed by Espanyol. Nice one, Alhambra. Nice one. 40 million too expensive for Dortmund. Yeah, of course. Look, I think the whole design was that if you want to buy him, you're going to have to buy him for a lot of money. Medical today for CHUKWUEMEKA, Borussia Dortmund, all set to complete. Loan move from Chelsea, full salary covered by the German club. Look, this one is actually great business. It's good business. As I said, it's sad that it didn't work out at Chelsea because of the injuries, but overall, I think it ended up being a good business. Next up, agreement confirmed between Crystal Palace and Chelsea for Ben Chilwell on loan until June. Players set to accept the move. Final steps being discussed and medical test already booked on Monday. Deal imminent, as Mike McGrath reports. Once again, I'm glad. Honestly, I'm so glad that Ben Chilwell is moving on. Good for him. Good for all parties. It doesn't make sense him just sitting around. If he's fit, play, and looks like we've built a good relationship with Crystal Palace. We gave them Chalobah. We took Chalobah back. Now we're giving them Ben Chilwell. And they play a 3 at the back with wing backs. So maybe Ben Chilwell can be a good cover. Maybe Ben Chilwell can get some minutes. And it could be something for Ben Chilwell. And we'll see. I'm not really sure about the ins and outs of this Ben Chilwell deal. Let me know in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, who's covering the wages. Is there a buy option or anything like that? Let me know the details about Ben Chilwell. I didn't see anything like that. Maybe it's not out yet. But I think overall this is also a good news. That look, it was very important in this window that we got rid of players that were not part of the plan. So we're doing that. Silver Surfer, big up to you. Newsflash, guys. We only have another 6 to 7 years of these owners. Then they can sell. I wish we sold to Saudi. But Abramovich did pick Clear Lake, didn't he? I mean, look, Abramovich picked Clear Lake. UK government picked Clear Lake. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, we don't know. What, why wasn't it Saudis? I don't know. I don't know what the truth is, man. I don't know what the truth is. But all I do know is the UK government was heavily involved. Alex the Great, Ms. Why don't you put more pressure on Maresca? Are the likes of Carney or Chilwell really that bad for him to exile them? He has a top squad and doesn't utilize all the players. You can't blame the STs. Now, okay, this is a very good point. Let's have a good discussion about this. This is interesting. A lot of people always say to me, why don't you put more pressure on Maresca? Okay, let me try and articulate this as much as I can. Alex, Maresca is not an elite manager. Not in my eyes. Might be for some of you guys. Not an elite manager. He's a good manager. But he's an up-and-coming manager. All right? We as Chelsea Football Club, the owners and the sporting directors sat down, looked through his resume, looked through his homework, looked through his presentation, and we gave him a 5-year contract. Okay? And we knew he's an up-and-coming manager that still has a lot to learn. We knew all of this, right? So how can I be upset with a manager? He has a certain way of football that he wants to play. He's laid everything out from the get-go. He got a 5-year contract. How can I be upset with someone that I've given everything to in terms of contract, in terms of knowing what his background is and everything, and then be upset that why are you not utilizing Carney and Chilwell? Is this the right time to talk to him about this? These should have been hashed out before he was introduced as a manager, no? When, say, you and me, Alex, we are the directors. We're sitting down talking to Enzo Maresca. We're about to give him a 5-year contract. Shouldn't we be talking about Carney, Chilwell, all of these players to him up front? Shouldn't we be saying, look, this is my squad. This is the squad I have. I've got Carney, I've got Chilwell, I've got blah, 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 blah. Shouldn't you and me be asking, are you able to utilize all of these players? What's the plan? So I'm sure they would have had all of these conversations, no? Or are we going to say, oh, maybe he lied. Maybe he lied at them. You crazy. He lied. It's clear from the get-go that Ben Chilwell wasn't in his plan. It's clear from the get-go that Carney CHUKWUEMEKA wasn't in his plans. So it shouldn't be a surprise for the sporting directors. It shouldn't be a surprise for them. They should have known, because Enzo Maresca would have told them that. Enzo Maresca didn't all of a sudden come to a situation that, you know what, I'm not going to use them. I'm sure he was in conversation. You can't just do all of these things without the consent, because these players are the club's assets. Enzo Maresca, before doing any of these stuff, he would need to consult that I'm about to do these things. He would have got the green light. Now, you're stating that why hasn't he integrated? The man doesn't believe in these players. Enzo Maresca, who got a 5-year contract, he's here for the long run. Unless he gets sacked. We should be taking his word. He came in, he doesn't trust these players. I can't force a manager to trust someone that he cannot trust. I can't force that. All I can do is try and understand what's going on. I can give my 2 cents about it. I can provide my opinion on it. But if the manager is so adamant that no, I don't envision this player playing for me, what are you going to do? Now you're going to say, well, he shouldn't have taken the job. Well, he didn't beg for the job. He was given the job. We gave him the job. The way we got to look at it is, I don't think we gave him an adequate squad. There are some components that were good, but overall, it's not a squad that was adequate for him. Look at all the business that we did last summer. Most of them are leaving. Are you not worried about the squad depth when the Conference League resumes? We won't have Vega, Felix, Caceres, maybe Desassi anymore. Are we going to be playing Enzo, Caicedo, Cucurella every game? Look, yeah, I mean, that is a concern, but we also have players from the academy. Some of the players from the academy are probably, a better shout than some of these players. So we have to mix and match. We still will have few players left anyway, and we can utilize some of the players from the academy. And then Achapong is there. So you're talking about Desassi, Achapong is there. You talk about Felix. Maybe we can use Tyreek George. Nkunku is probably not going to leave, so Nkunku is still there. You're only going to have one of Felix or Nkunku leave. So if Felix goes, it's not going to be Nkunku. Cassidy, we've got Raksaki we can use. Vega, well, he didn't even want to play left back anyway. So that could be a bit of a problem. But look, Malo Gusto can play on the left side. We've seen that. Reece James can play on the left side. We've seen that. All of these players, they invert. So there seems to be some solution. There seems to be some solution. Yeah. All right. Now, let's have a look at the next piece of news. Let's go back to the news section. Olympique Marseille and Chelsea have agreed on Aaron Anselmino loan move. Now, it all depends on how Chelsea will decide to manage loan spots, as they still have many decisions to make. Atalanta not in the race anymore, as they signed Stefan Posch from Bologna. Now, I was very, very excited about this. I thought, wow, this would have been a sensational move for Anselmino. Marseille, very good club. Roberto De Zerbi, he'll learn a lot from there. But yeah, the international loan spots have become a bit of an issue. If Felix ends up leaving, then Anselmino's loan move will collapse, and that will mean he'll stay at Chelsea Football Club, which I don't mind either. He can learn in-house and add another body in defense for us. As we know, we've got Conference League, we've got FA Cup matches. I'm sure he'll get minutes, especially in the Conference League, he'll get minutes. So I would have liked it if he was able to go on loan, but we find ourselves in a situation where we're running out of international loan spots. As of now, Nkunku is staying. He does not want a loan. Chelsea wants 60 million plus. I don't know where some of these valuations are coming from, man. 60 million plus on Nkunku, who barely plays for us, only featured on heavily in Conference League. But look, I don't think he's going to go, as you can see here from Fabrizio Romano. Nkunku is staying. Only one of Felix or Nkunku was going to go. And look, but you know what? As much as I don't mind this, but I think it's detrimental because we're not going to utilize Nkunku. So can he stay patient? Can he stay happy? It didn't look like he was happy before the transfer window opened. He looked like he was reluctantly getting into the field. He was barely running. I don't want to harbor players that don't want to be here, that don't feel comfortable being at Chelsea Football Club. I feel like Nkunku is one of those players. But let's see. Once the window closes, maybe Nkunku can focus again, and then we'll see his situation in the summer. Right now, look, all he's going to get is, I suppose, some minutes from the Conference League. Chelsea are willing to pay an important fee. Okay, so this news is now old. This was late last night. Obviously, the latest that we know is we've moved on from the Nico Riley. We'll see what we do. And also, in regards to West Ham, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a bit now about the match that's coming up. West Ham and Brighton have exchanged all documents for Evan Ferguson deal Formal signature expected in the morning after medical's done. So look, I think Evan Ferguson will become. Look, at the moment, I think this is a loan, right? Well, they haven't said. Maybe it's a loan move. Whatever the case is, Evan Ferguson is moved on to West Ham. He's not going to feature against us. He's not going to feature against us. All right, we're going to talk about the match. But before that, Meto World has something to say to me. Miz, can you not admit at least the directors have turned it around on deadline day? Turned it around. Wow. Meto World, some of these players, they're the ones who brought these players in. So I don't know what you're turning around. You're literally, you made a mistake. You're fixing your mistakes. Some of the players that are leaving, Renato Viga, Meto World, who asked for Renato Viga? They bought him. He left. They bought him. He left. Who said to give Ben Chilwell a long-term contract? 2 years ago. Who told them to do that? Desasi. Who told them to get Desasi? So they're getting. Who told them to get Felix? They're only doing all of this. You're turning around. They're fixing their own mistakes. They're fixing their own mistakes. So your comment here is irrelevant. It wasn't the directors who extended. Whatever the case is, brother. Directors and owners are one entity. It's not one or the other. When you talk about directors, you're talking about owners, because directors are taking their objective, their remit from the owners. So understand. Please understand. Look at this guy. Carney, Chilwell, Cassidy have nothing to do with the directors. No, the directors own the club, their own. These brothers talking like the directors are, yeah, okay, sure. They might not have been involved in Carney, Chilwell, Cassidy, but it's the owners. Owners made the mistake as well. And don't act like these directors have not made any mistakes. You're acting like they've not made any mistakes. They've made several mistakes. Last summer, have a look at all the transfers last summer. This is why I don't understand some of these guys. Like, they pretend like our football club's been running smoothly. Don't talk about Carney, Chilwell, Cassidy. They're not the directors. All right, no problems. What about the last summer? Pick one, choose one. Either or, directors or the owners, both not good enough. Not good enough. Man wants to bring in semantics. Anyway, all right. Chelsea versus West Ham, ladies and gentlemen, is upon us. Chelsea versus West Ham. The real Kevin K. Arsenal slapped City 5-1 while our players like Noni were posting nonsense captions and photos after losing 3 on the mentality. Shocking. Do you know what? Before we talk about West Ham, Chelsea versus West Ham, I have to confess something. After watching that match, I felt sick, I really felt sick. And even right now, after seeing this comment from real Kevin K, it's triggered me again. Every other team this season have absolutely pummeled Manchester City. Yet we are one of those teams that has bowed down to them, looked at them like some sort of a beautiful being, and admired them. It's sad. It's made me sad. Arsenal go out there and absolutely romp them. And it's not just Arsenal. Many other teams have done them in recent times, got their number. We got our backside whooped. It hurts. It really does hurt. It hurts. Anyway. It hurt, man. Real Kevin K, you just reminded me of it. And that one really hurt. All right. Chelsea versus West Ham, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea versus West Ham. Big game. Huge game. Graham Potter back at Stamford Bridge. The lads gave it all. The lads gave it everything. The man is back. Look, I'm worried. I'm not even going to lie. I am worried. It's a match. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it's a must-win. It's a must-win. It's a must-win. It's too many must, and we don't really must. I'm just going to say this. If we don't win, we've once again thrown away an opportunity to go ahead of Newcastle and Manchester City, because this race till the end to make it into Champions League spots is going to be very difficult. And I've got concerns that we don't have adequate striker backups, options, strong backups. I'm worried about our midfield. One injury, I mean, Lavia is already injured anyway. I'm worried if there's any other injury, then we're done. I'm worried about our goalkeeper. I'm worried about our defense. So this is an opportunity to get a victory and at least go ahead on some of these teams, because overall I'm worried about the team. I'm worried that we're not going to be able to sustain. I'm worried that by the end of this season, it's not going to look good on us, man. It's not going to be good. We've got some, the matches that we've squandered, the matches that we've screwed up, those were the ones that we thought that maybe we can do a lot of damage in. We can capitalize. But West Ham is trash, Miz. I love how fans, they just talk like we are. Bro, have you seen our record? 1 win in 7. West Ham might be trash, and yeah, sure, they are. They got a new manager now. They got Potter. Could potentially do something. They could feel a bit galvanized under him. I love how they just come, oh, West Ham is trash. What are we? We're 1 win in 7. Are we superstars at the moment? For me, look, this is a dangerous situation. So look, if we can get a victory, that would have been nice, because we got some heavy fixtures coming up soon. But I'm worried, man. I'm worried. Where I'm worried is, look, I'm not worried that we're not going to create chances. I think we're going to create chances. We always create chances. We're a team that have good attacking options to create chances. Can we eat? Can we actually, on this particular match, put our chances away? Because you best believe the defense won't be able to keep a clean sheet. They got players like Bowen. They got players like Kudus. They got players like whoever else. You best believe we're not keeping a clean sheet. They will get a breakthrough. Now, if we don't take our chances up front and they then equalize, that kind of stuff is very, very detrimental to us, because then our heads fall down. In fact, our heads fall down as soon as we don't convert some of our chances. We have to hope that we score 2-3 in the first half, and then we'll see what happens in the second half. If it's 0-0, if it's 1-0, our way or their way, even if it's their way, if they take the lead, I think that might be done for us. We may at best come back and draw. Look, I'll be honest. I feel like there's a draw written here. That's my prediction. I feel like there's a draw written in this match. There'll be a little bit of buzz from West Ham, Graham Potter. They'll be cheering him on, the West Ham away team. Of course, can Stamford Bridge rise and cheer our fans on, our players on, our manager on? We'll see. But if they somehow take the lead, then it might be very difficult for us. And not just only Graham Potter, I believe Emerson. If you guys remember, our left back once upon a time, Emerson, he's probably coming back. He starts, I think, I'm pretty sure, for them. Souček has been a bit of a thorn in our matter as well in recent times, playing against West Ham. Our record, recently we've beaten them a few times. But, they've got a new manager. They'll have a bit of new belief. And I'm sure Potter will try his level best to get something from Stamford Bridge. After obviously being sacked and, it didn't work out for him. He doesn't come across someone who holds grudges or anything like that. But I'm sure he'd like to put one on us. I'm very, very certain he'd like to get something from this match. So, look, for us, if it's a draw, which I think it might be, it's not going to be good enough, man. It just won't be good enough. It's going to be, very tense. in this remaining parts of the Premier League season. That would mean 1 win in 8, which only will start creating doubts on all the players' head if they haven't got doubts already. Do you know what I mean? Look, they're not a scary team or anything like that. They're not one bit a majorly scary team. We should be able to beat them, especially at Stamford Bridge. You'd think, home crowd and the backing and whatnot, players feeling comfortable at home. Football's strange, strange things have happened to us. We've lost at Stamford Bridge, a few times. From winning positions as well. So, look, I don't even want to come with my lineup. My only thing I'll say is that if I see Sanchez start, I'll be very disappointed, I'll be very, very disappointed. That will be my first test on Maresca. Enzo Maresca knows that Sanchez has been screwing him up royally. If I see Enzo Maresca start Sanchez again and not at least even give Jurgensen an opportunity here, I'll actually be very annoyed. Because you're now asking, you can see this goalkeeper is detrimental to you. You can make, this is within your powers. You can make a decision and let another goalkeeper start and see how he goes. But if Sanchez starts, I'm going to lose a little bit of, because it'll make me think that, looks like Maresca is stubborn. Like he's not going to move away from his stance. You got to do what's best for the team and not what's best for Sanchez. Felix, thank you so much for the super chat. Even if it's loan, need top players to push for top 4. I agree. If Sanchez starts, he's on fraud watch every game. Look, Sanchez, for me, he deserves to be benched for a prolonged period now. It's not the odd mistake here and there. He's making mistakes on a regular, costing us points. So if Enzo Maresca ends up selecting him again, I'd have to go directly to Enzo Maresca and actually criticize him even more, even heavily. So that would be my first thing that I'll look out for. Besides that, look, we know the lineup. Jackson up front, Cole Palmer in behind, most likely Madueke on the right, maybe Pedro Neto, but I think it might be Madueke. On the left, Sancho. Enzo and Caicedo will play in the middle. Chalobah in the back with Levi Colwill. And Levi Colwill's another one. You're on fraud watch, brother. You're on fraud watch, Levi Colwill. You're on massive fraud watch. Cucurella on the left back and Reece James will be on the right back. So I know what the team is going to be like, but I will go for Jurgensen as the goalkeeper. But I have a feeling it's going to be Sanchez. I have a feeling it's going to be Sanchez. MCT, we can't take a draw, Miz. This is a must-win. A draw is of course it's unacceptable. Of course, but I'm not going to go out there and say we are 100% going to win because I'm not sure. I'm worried. I'm worried about this fixture. Lately, I've been worried about a lot of our fixtures. We've got 1 win in 7. Graham Potter's West Ham. Graham Potter coming back to Stamford Bridge. West Ham could do something here. I hope they don't. I hope we get the victory because it's a perfect opportunity to leapfrog City and Newcastle. It'll be brilliant. They both lost. But Chelsea at the moment is not giving confidence to me, man. It's not giving confidence. They need to build the confidence again. So, yeah, look, my score prediction will be 1-1. I'm thinking it's going to be 1-1. But I hope we win. Misra, do you think that Potter would have got us top 4 in Poch's season? Look, I think for Graham Potter, this club was too big for him. So this question is irrelevant. He didn't deserve to be at Chelsea Football Club. His next job should have been something like West Ham. And then if he impressed in West Ham, to go and make the next move. Would he have done better last season instead of Poch? I don't think so. Samet, big up to you, miss. Come on. So if you don't win today, you will still talk about SDs or actually blame the grapher. Samet, let me try and break this down to you. You're commenting like as if I'm some sort of a, brainless fan. Do you understand why I go after SDs? Because I feel like they haven't given the adequate squad to the manager to play his way. I've literally said last summer, look at all the transactions that we've done. All of them, most of them have left or they've provided zero impact. Now you can sit there and go, well, he should still find a solution. But so far he has found a solution and he's got us to where we are. Now, he's not a magician. He can only do that much. And I've been critical of Enzo Maresca anyway. I've been saying his subs are late. I wish he was able to find a solution for Nkunku and Felix, but both Nkunku and Felix, you notice it, Samet. You see it when Nkunku plays, when he comes off the bench. The difference between him and Jackson off the ball work rate is immense. We get nothing from Nkunku. If you look at most of our matches recently from a tactical point of view, which is where the gaffer comes into play, tactically, we've been fine. We should have been winning a lot of these games at halftime by a long margin. We shouldn't be losing the way we lost against City. It should have been at least 2-0 up before they even thought about making the comeback. We should have been way ahead against Crystal Palace. We should have won against Fulham. The only one game where I think we got absolutely done is Ipswich. That I remember my post-match review was, Maresca, this was on you. That's what I said. But all the other matches, we should have won. We really should have won. And not just one, we ended up losing one against Fulham. That one we shouldn't have lost. So, from a tactical point of view, Maresca's actually been okay. And as I said, you can chop the manager, no problems. You can get rid of this manager. I'm not affiliated with this manager. I've got no personal affiliation with him. You can get rid of this manager. I've got no issues. But that's another manager. That's another manager. That's another manager that the owners are about, you're asking the owners to get rid of, on top of so many managers that we've got rid of already. Felix, big up to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. City game is on Maresca. Arsenal sit deep this game. Look, maybe the second half, but if our players were just a little bit more clinical, we should have been 2 up. We should have been 2 up. Look at the way Arsenal players behave with Manchester City players. They're in their face. And look at what our player Jackson's doing to Kusanov. He's patting him. Brother, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. He's patting him. And look at Arsenal players. They're in Manchester City players' faces. As I said, we actually played a really good first half. We should have been way ahead. But we're not. And then second half was a capitulation. Of course it was. Brian CFC, thank you so much for the super chat. Blame the gaffer, episode 3. Come on, kids, wake up for F's sake. I'm telling you right now, the manager is not the biggest problem in this football club. You can change the manager, bring someone else in. You'll be in this same predicament again and again and again. I'm telling you right now, for anyone that thinks simply changing the manager is going to do the job, you're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. Look at the way we build up. Look at the way we play, up front to create chances. We create ample chances. Jackson's been missing. Gilt edge opportunities. We're not able to bring anyone from the bench that can put on a fine performance up front if Jackson's not doing well. Because we don't have that quality. So this is why I say You got to build, the owners, the directors got to build a better squad fitted for this manager. Or else, there's only that much Enzo Maresca can do. Look at Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola, you'd say, is a top manager, yeah? He's won so much. Even the topmost managers suffer when their squad is not good enough. And this is Enzo Maresca. He's not even at Pep Guardiola's level. So, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. We'll take one final comment. We'll wrap things up. Miz, 1 win in 7 in winnable games isn't finding a solution. Sorry, but SDs have given him a lot of talent. We should be second at least. I will always believe in this ownership. Caicedo, Estevao, Palmer. Well, look, yeah, those are good news, but they've made a lot of other bad news as well. So if you can't be balanced about it, then that's your problem. That's your problem. Ornstein dropped a Gihi bomber. Really? Two minutes ago. Crystal Palace reject major bid from Tottenham Hotspurs to sign Mark Guéhi permanently. Tottenham plus other clubs expected to try again for 24-year-old England international in summer when centre-back will have 12 months left. Yeah, it's not really a bomber, man. It's not really a bomber. It's just Spurs just getting rejected left, right, and centre. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I shall see you guys, inshallah, for the watch-along. Hopefully we get a victory. All right. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya. Bye.